Hello, Panagdaits. Turn off my camera kay pura ba ko connection ba sa mga chapel niya ko. So, thank you. So, our topic for today is all about the nature of the human person. So, in this discussion, I will be presenting three topics. First is this nature of the human person. Second is the different theories on human nature. And third is on the topic human person as an embodied spirit. So, first and foremost, I will be talking first. Although nasa live connection, pero una ko sa in this first topic, the nature of the human person. So, here we are trying to answer the question, who am I? What makes man truly human? Who is man? Who is man? Who is human? Who is the human? Who is the human person? You know, my dear students, the question, what what is man? Who is man? Or even though, or kanang kwan, pwede gani ang who am I, is the simplest and the commonest question, pinaka-common question sa kalibutan, yet the hardest question to answer. Kay the questions required a deeper self-understanding, a deeper self-exploration. So mo although simple na kayo siya nga question, pero it demands deep and self-explorative answers. So, bisan pag abot na kag 60, abot na 70 mong edad, pero wala pa japoy kuan, wala pa dili pa ka maka ingon ba, this is the perfect answer. This is who am I. Walay particular age nga maka-answer ka ana. Because life is a journey. And we don't even know kung unsa tong padulong, unsa tong capable of. Pero at every day, every facets of our existence, we keep on exploring ourselves. We keep on giving meaning of our life. So here into this discussion, let's try to appreciate and recognize our nature as a human person. So first, let us ask ourselves, why is it necessary to study the nature of the human person? Why is it so? No, necessary man. You know, my dear students, to give you a brief answer to this question, life is a quiet complex. Thus, you need to discover who you are, what you are capable of, or what you become. Understanding your nature will enhance your capacity as a human being to achieve your possibilities and help you live a life fully worthy of a human person. So here in this discussion, dili ko mohatag o kung siya nang kinsa ka, anong iyan kinabuhi, but I will lead you to a reflection and understanding of who you are. At least matry makasabot ta kung kinsa ta. What is our nature? So in a philosophical perspective. In a philosophical perspective. So first, let us try to answer the question, who is the human person? We answer this question, who is the human person, by defining the term human and the term person. So when we talk about human, dear students, it is the scientific categorization of being as biologically and genetically called Homo sapiens. As di ba, we are the Homo sapiens, considered or known as the superior species nga grabe ang ato ang developmental ay ang grabe ang development sa ato ang mental capacity munang superior ta sa other species because of this particular development of our mental capacity. So that is human. Biologically and genetically, we are Homo sapiens as a categorization of being. But when we talk about person, it refers to anything or reality which has a right, obligation, duty, and responsibility. In addition, person has the capacity for reason and consciousness, value, and intellect. So it means that we are not just only human, but we are a human person. And not just Homo sapiens, but we have this particular duty, obligation, or responsibility, and we are capable of reason and consciousness, and value and intellect. And that is why we are called a human person. We are not just human, but we are a human person particularly. Now, there are different views to the issues of human nature, different views. So first, there, they say that man is innately good. So, bisan para unsa ka killer ang tao, but he is innately good. The moment nga he was born or the moment that we were born, we are innately good. We are good. That's the perspective of the encyclopedic view that we are innately good. But what makes us bad? If we are innately good, ganun nahimo mo tandautan. According to them, man is innately good, and what makes him bad is that it is because of his relationship to the society. It is because of his being a social animal. Na nga, we are innately good, but what makes us bad is it is when we encounter in the society. So therefore, our environment, our society influence us to make us bad, to do something bad. So we are innately good, but what makes us bad is the society. The moment that we encounter others, the moment that we enjoy the company of others, the moment that we put ourselves in the context of the society, then we will be influenced by different perspectives, by different actions. So, and that what makes us bad. Second is that man is destined to be happy in the context of material abundance. So, for example, though, there are a lot of people or there are a lot of individuals na na collection og mga sapatos or sandal, na collection og mga bag, na collection og mga dress. Pero wala na suota for the purpose lang ng collection. Uh, kung naay particular nga naay bagong model sa cellphone or sa iPhone ba ka, gusto ta mo acquire, gusto ta mo palit, it's because according to them, this economic view, that we become more happy if there is a material abundance in us. So, kung na bang materialistic ra kayo, nga the more nga we acquire many things, then the more we become happy. So, ingana po ilahang perspective. The more dahagamit, the more puta nga daw nga mas malipayon. Third is that man lives in three worlds. We have this physical, internal, and the social world. And lastly, man is a creature whose destiny is to live in two worlds, the spiritual and the physical world. So it means that since for now we are in this physical world, then time will come that makapuyo na data ng spiritual world. Muna ni ang tawag na to heaven. So these are the different views to the issues of human nature. Now, maybe wonder ta, unsa rin ang nature? Unsa rin nature? So we we try to define the term nature. Nature is defined as the ultimate principle of operation of a given reality, or it says that a thing acts according to its nature. So, for example, ballpen acts through writing. A watch acts by giving the hour. So, muna ilang nature. Ang ato ang sapatos, ato sandal, nag-act siya by protecting our foot. So now the question is, what is the nature of man? What is the nature of human person? Unsa rin nature na to? It has been said that our nature is we think, we feel, and we act. This is the classical understanding. That our nature is that we feel, we think, we feel, and we act. So that's our nature. That's the way kuan. That's is our ultimate principle. We think, we feel, and we act. Now the question is, if we think, if we feel, if we act, then what is proper and fitting? What is proper thinking? What is the proper feeling? And what is the proper action? So they said that it should be good. It should be the thinking should be good, the feeling should be good, the action should be good. In the classical understanding niya, now napot nga kung dapat good ang thinking, good ang feeling, good ang action, then what do we mean by good? Nabot na question kung unsa gyud ang good. Unsa gyud ang good? Kung ang ato nature is to think, to feel, and to act, then that nature, it should be good. Then unsa dito pagsabot sa good? Kay it becomes relative man good kay sometimes what is good to me unsay good sa kuha posible nga bad sa imuha. Posible pod nga unsay good sa imuha bad pod sa kuha. Dili man always mo complement God nga kung unsay good nako dapat good na sa tanan. Muna ang big question in the kuan in the classical understanding is because walay they define good as a satisfier. So, example, kung may kaan ko apple, diyon, kung nasatisfy ko, so para sa ko mo na good. So, kung nag-think ko o para sa akong klase, then it is good. Kung nag-feel ko para sa laing tao, then it is good. Now, kung nag-act ko para makatabang sa laing tao, excuse me, then it is good. Now, there are things that sometimes we think, we feel, and we act nga para sa tuwa, good siya, pero in the perspective of others, it is bad. So, dira na ang nanabot ang mga different arguments talking about what is good, what is really good. Kay, the understanding of good man good kay subjective ba? Nahimo ng subjective. So, wala na universal understanding kung unsa gi good o wala gyud nahatag og kanabang objective view of what is really good because there it becomes more relative man. So until now in this postmodern time, nahimo gyapon siyang debate or subject of argument kung unsa gid ang dapat makaingon ta nga good. So that is our nature. We think, we feel, and we act. Now, there is characterization of human nature. So there are two characterization of human nature. First is universal. Our human nature is universal, absolutely present to all those who are born humans, whatever is your nationality, either Filipino ka, American ka, Nigerian ka, or Chinese baka ka, Korean baka ka, whatever nationality, basta tao ka, you feel, you think, and you act. You have these natures. You have this nature. Second is, our nature is static, remains as it is in every man from birth or from birth to death or from womb to tomb. So from the moment that we born until we die, we still have that particular nature. We think, we feel, and we act. That is the characterization of our nature. Now, there are three aspects of human nature. First is somatic, refers to the body, material composition, or substance of a human person. That is somatic. So, talking about the characterization of human nature, we have universal and static. So, ang body ba? Ang body ba kay unsa ang body? Yes, it is universal. Kay present all. Is it static? Yes. It remains as it is from birth to death. Although na ang nag-believe ang mga Chinese nga na-believe ang mga Chinese nga every 7 years daw mag-change gid daw ang naong sa tawo. Mag-change gid daw ng naong sa tawo. Nga kan unsa datong naong karon kung either cute ba ta or dili, pero dili na ni mao ang naong 7 years ago. Mo na believe sa mga Chinese. Pero ang ilang belief kay nag-change ato ang noun atong lawas, pero wala na usab ang essence sa lawas. Kung sino usab ang accident lang sa lawas. So universal and static. Second is behavioral, refers to the person mode of acting. So this is our behavior. Now, is it universal? Yes. Every man has different particular behavior, but is it static? Is it remain as it is? No, it's because behavior behavior will change, and every nationality or every country has a particular behavior. So universal siya, but not static. Third is attitudinal, refers to the mental reaction of every man to a given stimulus or the position of every individual concerning his opinion, feeling, or mood. It is a certain inclination, bias, or disposition toward a type of activity. So, attitude. Is it universal? Yes, it is universal. But is it static? No. Like behavior, every person has a variety of attitude, and every country has its own attitude being practiced. So excuse me, these are the threefold aspect of human nature: the somatic, behavior, and the attitudinal. Okay, that's the nature of the human person. Now let's proceed on the different theories on human nature. So first, human person as an immortal soul by Plato. So human person as an immortal soul by Plato. So in the ancient time, it has been claimed jud nga every man has a soul, every human person has a soul. And according to Plato, this soul is the true nature of man. The true nature of man. This soul is the principle of life and movement. Anong nakalihok ta, anong natoy life daw, according to Plato, is because of our soul. And everything that move, dayon na kay soul. So, kung stop na ta og move, stop na move, wala na tay life, then wala na tay soul. Subot nga, patay na ta. This soul is, according to Plato, is immortal and uncreated. Immortal and uncreated. And this soul has a prior existence. Now, this soul is just using a body. So, ano siya? Ato lang nature gid daw is that our immortal soul. Diyon, kanang body na to is just an accident. And this soul particularly is just using a body. Now, according to him, there are three parts of the soul. There are three parts of the soul, namely first, reason, which is particular on the awareness and value, on the intellect, on reason, intellect and reason. Second is spirit, the drive toward action. And third is the appetite, the desire of the body. Now, since this soul is using a body, these three parts of the soul daw kay nasa particular area or particular place in the human body. So, kani daw to ang reason, nani siya sa ato ang head. Of course, nasa atong head. Ang kani daw ang spirit, nado ni sa ato ang chest. Kani daw ang appetite, nado sa atong abdomen. So, according to him, dapat daw, mm, since we have these three parts of the soul, dapat ang kaning reason jud daw, mooy mo concur sa aning duha ka parts sa soul kay para daw good since kay ang reason man naghatag og awareness on value para daw for example spirit drive toward action para daw reasonable para daw good ang ato ang action dapat guided siya on reason. Now kaning appetite para good po daw ang desire sa ato ang body dapat guided jud siya daw siya on reason. So for example sa spirit kung ato siyang wala kung i-ignore na to ang reason na ato ang rationality, posible nga matakal ang tayo pahagit usang bagay diha or mangawat na ta diha because we kanang ato alam mo sagdan kung unsay drive sa tuwa. So according to Plato, dapat para harmonious ang imuhang life, dapat capable jud ka on reasoning. Dapat mo control gid mo take yung control sa imuha ang imuhang reason, ang imuhang rationality. So this is Plato. We are an immortal soul. Now, proceed on Aristotle. Human person as a composite of body and soul. Our nature is a composition of body and soul. Now, na siya nga, there are kinds of substance. So we have matter and form. So, and everything that exists, there is what we call matter and form. Naging na siya, naging na matter and form. Now, ang man daw, ang matter sa man is the body, and the form is the soul. Of course, the soul is the principle of life and movement. Now, ano siya nga? This body has is potential in different functions for nutrition and growth, while this soul is the first grade of actuality of our natural organized body and enables man to do actions or activities that are suited to being a human person. So, ang body ang nasiya kay potentiality pa. So, potential pa saya nga mabuhat ani nga action. Now, ang maghatag saya og actuality na jud kay kani soul. Now, body and soul equals one na ang human person. So, matod pa ni Aristotle nga dili jud dapat unique dili jud dapat nga immortal soul lang but our soul needs a body. So, because the human person is a composition of body and soul. Now, according to him, there are three types of soul. So, first is the vegetative, act of living, self-nutrition. Second is sensitive, for sensing and growth, and rational for thinking. Now, siya nga, if there is a question nga, sir, unsay kalahian sa soul sa tawo ug sa hayop ug sa mga kuan sa mga plants. Now, mo ni ang answer. Now, according to Aristotle, kaning vegetative act of living or self-nutrition mo ni ang soul sa mga plants. Now, this soul is for the brutes or sa mga animals, sensing lang and growth. And this rational soul for thinking kay mao ni ang soul sa human person. So mo nang ma-distinguish na to kung nganong we are the highest form of being because we are a rational being. That's our nature. That's our nature. We are a rational being. So dili lang kita for sensing and growth, dili lang kita for self-nutrition, but we are a thinking being, we are a rational being. So according to Aristotle. Now, third is, according to Rene Descartes, human person as a thinking thing. So according to him, human person has two distinct natures. So kita daw tao natin two distinct natures, namely the soul and the body. So now, unique kaniyang explanation. According to him, this body is, he called it the extended substance or the res extensa, extended substance. Now, this body for him is just a machine, just a machine. It's capable of death, can be broken, and can be damaged. So, but that's a machine. Now, this body daw kay kuan kanang kung para kang Aristotle kang o kang Plato, soul is the principle of life and movement. Pero para kang in the mind of Descartes, what makes us move and what gives us life is this animal spirits. Animal spirits. So asa sa gikan na siya, it is being generated by the blood and its warmth. So dili ang soul ang naghatag sa tuog life and movement, but it is this animal spirit nga naa lang sa tuang dugo. So muna in mind ni muna idea ni Descartes. Now, para siya, this soul is a thinking substance. So kung ang body is an extended substance, para siya ang soul is a thinking substance, or he called it the res cogitans. Now, the essence of this soul is thinking. Thinking. And this soul gives man consciousness. So according to him, this human person is a finite substance. So we have two distinct natures, and we become a finite substance. So we are a human person. We are a machine and a thinking being. So for him, we are a thinking thing. We think as the essence of our soul, and we are a machine. So therefore, we are a thinking thing. So manay idea ni René Descartes. So unique po ang iyang philosophy in terms of the nature of the human person. So that's the three theories of the human on the nature of the human person. Now let's proceed on the discussion about human person as an embodied spirit. We have been discussing about human person as an immortal soul, human person as a composite of body and soul. Then discussing human person as a thinking thing. Now let's proceed on the human person as an embodied spirit. So this is the kanang Christian perspective. So in this discussion, I will present two philosophers, namely Saint Augustine and Saint Aquinas. So human person as an embodied spirit. So according to Saint Augustine, talking about the nature of the human person here, there's a God. Believe that there is a God who is absolute in holiness, absolute in transcendence, absolutely in eternal, absolute in spirit, absolute in will, absolute in intelligence, absolute in freedom, absolute in goodness, absolute in power, and absolute in creation. So he is the creator, and he created everything out of love. So he is an omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent God, and he is a creator. And he created everything out of love. Diba? Sa inyong related na subject, sa inyong salvation history, that itong ex nihilo, he created from nothing. So God created everything out of love. Because of love, he created everything from nothing. Because of love, he created everything from nothing. So one of his creations is that he created immortal soul and mortal body. So he created immortal soul and mortal body. So muna ito karog the human person. Our nature is that we are immortal soul and a mortal body. Now, after niya create ng man with immortal soul and a mortal body, gihatagan niya ang tao o free will. He gave man a free will. So, again, mga students, atong try to define unsa di kalian sa freedom o free will. Now, in philosophy, we distinguish it. Freedom is to do good, and free will is to do either good or bad. So, now, ang gato sa Ginoo daw sa tao is that dili freedom but free will to do either good or bad. Now, this free will is the cause of evil. This free will makes man imperfect. Now, balik to the question sa kung previous discussion sa una atong chapter 1 nga about tong argument nga if God created everything, then why there is an evil? Because this is the question that St. Augustine tried to answer. If God created everything, then why there is an evil? Does it mean that God also created evil? Para kay St. Augustine, no. It's because after gibuhat sa Ginoo ang tao, He gave man free will. Now, this free will makes man imperfect, and this is the cause of evil. This free will. So nakasala ang tao is because of free will. Wala niya gi-chain ang tao, wala niya gi-peso ang tao, wala niya gi-control ang tao, but He gave man free will to do what he want, to do what he like. Free will. Now, mo nakasala ang tao because of free will. Now, since man committed sins, then redemption is a must. Man must be redeemed. Dapat, since kaya nakasala naman siya, dapat ma-redeem siya. Di ba mo na misis po sa yung salvation history, after ni Adam and Eve, nakasala sila, so dapat, sa message, dapat na-salvation, na-redemption. No. Dapat ma-redeem ang tao. Pabalik ang tao sa iyang nature as a good. Innately good. So, dapat, kinsa may makapabalik sa iya, with His loving mercy, God can uplift man back to righteousness and goodness. Since God created man, so He's the one can uplift man, can redeem man to righteousness and goodness. So again, man has given a free will. Ug mo ni nakabuhat siya nga hindi mo siya imperfect, ug mo ni ang cause of evil. So since kay nakasala naman siya, dapat ma-redeem siya, mabalik siya. So kinsa makapabalik sa iya, it is God. So this the reason nga mi explain nga nganong kinahanglan naman ta nga mo serve, mo alagad, nganong kinahanglan ta mo follow sa commandment, nganong kinahanglan ta mo mayo, because we are aiming nga ma-redeem ta, ma-save ta. Kinsa ma-save na to, dili lang ato kauling pinangkamot, but pinagi sa tabang sa Ginoo. So this is the explanation of St. Augustine. Now, let's proceed on St. Thomas Aquinas. Now, St. Thomas Aquinas, that this is what we call body, or call it corporeal. And we have this soul, or call it, this is spiritual. Now, this body daw, according to St. Thomas Aquinas, this body is complete, perfect, actual. So, ano siya nga, ang body kay mura siya o kanang computer nga siya computer or PC nay CPU, nay monitor, nay keyboard, nay mouse, nay VR, kompleto siya, perfect, complete, actual. Pero sama sa computer, dili siya useless siya, dili siya maandar kung walay kuryente. So nga pa daw ang body, useless siya kung walay magpa-move siya, walay magpalihok sa iya. Now, ano siya? This body is a matter, or call it material. This body has an intrinsic potentiality. And this body is subject to animation. So, although complete siya, perfect siya, pero dapat na mo animate siya, dapat na animator siya. Here comes the soul. This soul is a substance, or define it, essentially exists by itself. This is the form of the body, the principle of life and movement, or the the form that will give ng essence of the body to think, to feel, to act, to will, etc. And this soul is the animator of the body. Now, the two become one. The two become one. Becomes one. Two becomes one. This is what we call the animation. Since ang body kay subject to animation and the soul is animator of the body, so this is embodied spirit. The two become one. Embodied spirit, one substance. Man is a one substance, or we call it in the doctrine of participation, substantial unity. Two becomes one and life comes in. So, mo na yung tao. Dili lang siya body, dili lang siya soul, but embodied spirit. Embodied spirit, one substance. Dili distinct ang body, dili distinct ang soul, but embodied spirit, one substance, body and soul. Man, the nature of human person is body and soul, corporeal and spiritual. Now we might try to ask, anong substance man ang soul? Or define it, essentially exists by itself. Anong naka-exist by itself man siya? What makes him a substance? Anong substance man siya? Ano si St. Thomas Aquinas? The soul becomes a substance because of its participation to God. So, di ba? So, balik ta. Ang substance is the soul. Ang body dili. The moment nga nag-animate sila, the moment nga nag-participate sila, nahimo silang one substance. Nahimo silang one substance. Now, the question now is, nganong nahimong substance ang soul? Anong substance man siya? It is because of its participation to God. Nahimo siyang substance because of the participation to God, who is the only substance or the only self-subsisting being, the author of life, and has the exclusive authority to annihilate life, to stop life, to kill life. Muna nga dili mo na ginang ko na to nga we don't have the right to kill one's life, to annihilate one's life. It's because we are not the giver of it. We are not the author of it. It is only God. So, I guess, hope masabtan ninyo ha na ang anong nahimo siyang substance because of its participation to God, who is the only substance and the only self-subsisting being. So, we are one substance as a human person. Now, this body as a matter is subject to corruption. So, time nga i-annihilate sa Ginoo, then this body atong lawas as a matter kay madaot siya, lata siya, subject to corruption, while our soul remains as it is in its higher powers such as intellect and will, because this soul is kaman siya kanang same idea ni Aristotle nga kan siya immortal and uncreated. So kanang immortal siya. So this is what happened to our soul. Kung the moment na mamatay ta, atong lawas malata siya, pero ang ato ang soul nagpabilin na gid daw siya. But according to St. Thomas Aquinas, that death is just a temporary separation of body and soul. Just a temporary separation of body and soul. Ngano man? Because according to the mind of St. Thomas Aquinas, in the last judgment, the two will be united again. So it is in the mind of St. Thomas Aquinas na during the judgment day, his body and soul will be united again. So for him, death is just a temporary separation of the body and the soul. So this is the philosophy of the discussion of St. Thomas Aquinas. on the human person as an embodied spirit. So yan na siya kadali. Nga, that's our nature. Dili lang kita pure body, din kita pure soul, but we are body and soul. This is our nature. This is our nature. This is who we are. From the mind of Plato, Aristotle, Descartes, Saint Augustine, and Saint Thomas Aquinas. We are embodied spirit. So then, this is the end of discussion. Thanks for listening. So thank you so much for listening the discussion talking about the nature of the human person. So I hope that you will learn something from this, and if there are things that you struggle to understand, do not hesitate to contact me, or nang ibalik siya lantaw gyapon ang video until nga masabtan niyo, or pwede pod nga you'll conduct a further research, further study about the topic. So thank you so much for listening, and please take care always. Amping jud kanunay. And